to some of our threatened species.
Nikki Wagner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm very pleased to support this bill in the name of Jackie Dean, and I'd like to congratulate Jackie Dean on 2 bills in the House this afternoon. Great work, a hard-working member for Waitaki. I think we are all concerned that New Zealand's unique plants and animals are at risk, and we want to be able to protect them better. Our plants and animals are exceptional. They're totally unique, highly desirable and greatly prized, and a real temptation to the collectors of the world who are always looking for the unusual, the beautiful, and particularly the unobtainable. And unfortunately, there are many collectors globally who are happy to pay big money for these creatures. They'll pay for the skinks, for the geckos, for our birds, and really for anything that's unique and different and that comes from the other side of the world. We've also seen a dramatic increase in violence against creatures, as well as the poaching, stealing and smuggling. New Zealanders all find these behaviours abhorrent. Because we're proud of our country, we're proud of our plants and birds and reptiles, and we want to make sure that they stay here. We want to protect our natural spaces and the birds and creatures who live in them. Now, this bill introduces bigger fines and longer jail sentences for people who endanger our wildlife or damage our protected natural habitats. We need to have a consistency across the 5 acts, and it was interesting that the Honourable Ruth Dyson mentioned the lack of consistency. This is what this bill is driving at: consistency and penalties that deter unacceptable behaviour. We are serious about this. We are serious about deterring this type of crime. And it's not just a crime against our flora and fauna, it's also a crime against the people of New Zealand. So we're introducing a maximum fine of $10,000 or a 2-year jail sentence for offences conducted at both reserves and national parks. I was horrified to find out that collectors from Asia and from Europe are particularly interested in our unique reptiles, particularly creatures like the jewelled geckos, which Jackie Dean has mentioned in Banks Peninsula and Otago. These fetch enormous prices overseas, and I've heard for up to $25,000 each. And they're actually relatively easy to catch in the remote parts of New Zealand, and they're quite easy to transport as well. So dozens of endangered lizards disappear from their native habitats every year, and many are in the hands of suspected organised criminal groups who sell them on the internet. New Zealand geckos are particularly prized because they give birth to their young live. So if you get a pregnant one, you actually get a whole lot of free geckos as well. And in the past 3 years, 7 people have been caught smuggling protected geckos and skinks out of the South Island. One group, including a German from Uganda who was sentenced to 15 weeks in jail, was caught with 16 jewelled geckos, and they were packed in tubes. Others put them down their pants or in their clothing. But these 16 geckos were valued at over $200,000, and at least 9 of them were pregnant. The geckos usually end up on a German website where traders claim that they have been bred in captivity. It's not true, and it's not right. And I know that DOC and the Wildlife Enforcement Group are working very hard to protect these geckos and skinks. And I support this bill because it does show how seriously we're taking these issues and how much we value our birds and reptiles. And I commend this bill to the House.
Grant Robertson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It's a pleasure to take a call on this bill. As other speakers have noted, there is a lot